What does it take to be an actor? How does an actor prepare? Well, let's find out in our discussion with Mark Coleman, seasoned actor of nearly 50 years. Mark, pleasure to see you. Thank you for coming in.
And you, Iain. Pleasure as always.
You've just finished a tour of a show. Just first of all, could you tell us something about the show that you've been doing recently?
Well, it's a show called The Badly Behaved Poet Society.
Right.
I came up with the title, but my friend Lorenzo Navani wrote it. It's a terrific little two-hander about two poets who meet in the afterlife. Lorenzo played Rabbie Burns.
Right.
And I played the real-life poet Giovanni Pascoli. He's an Italian poet, lived around the late 19th century, early 20th century. So he lived at a different time to Rabbie Burns.
Yeah.
Of course, apart from being poets, that they didn't have a great deal in common, apart from their love of drink.
Right.
But it's a fascinating little piece. It's a really lovely piece, which Lorenzo wrote with me in mind. And
I had no idea it was an original piece. I thought I'd never heard of this before.
No.
I sort of presumed that you got the rights to do a play, and you did it. So this is actually an absolutely new production.
Yes, it is. And in fact, it was the Lord Provost of Glasgow who wanted this play. She wanted something that spoke to the cultural links between the city of Glasgow and the city of Barga, where every year they have a Scottish-Italian festival.
Really?
Every September.
Wow.
And so a year or two ago, she approached Lorenzo, who was over there at the time, and she said to him, well, can you write something for us which we can put on? So we got some help, some money from Italian Scotland, who were very helpful in terms of investing in us.
Right.
And we put it on at the City Chambers last year, and it was sold out. It was really praised to the highest.
I saw some on social media, just some clips from it, and of course I have to admit I didn't manage to get along and see it.
You have to see it live. It's the best.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. So I mean, you got funding. I mean, did you have to hustle for this funding? I mean, it always requires a certain amount of money just to get something off the ground.
Yeah.
And it can be done, but if you want any sort of production values, you do need something.
That's right. I mean, we were very careful about that. We Lorenzo wanted me to be paid. He wanted us to make sure we weren't losing money, at least, that we could at least break even.
Yeah.
Lorenzo's fantastic in the sense that what he's able to do, unlike most other actors I know, performers I know, he's able to make a living from his performing and not have what they rather insultingly call a muggle job.
A muggle job.
A muggle job,
Right.
where you have to, clean floors or
Yeah.
office stuff or whatever it is, a proper job.
Yeah, I call them civilian jobs. Always have done. I don't know why.
I've never read Harry Potter, but I've heard the phrase used, muggle job.
Muggle
And
job.
I had to look it up. A muggle is like a human being, a normal person.
Right.
Rather than a magical...
Don't know many of those.
I know.
So, yeah. Well, but what about yourself? Just a bit of background, maybe, because and then we'll go back to talking about the play and how you actually put it on. Because you've been around for a long, long, long time. Same.
Well, you had Bill Rogue on your podcast recently. He was talking about teaching, and Joel Corn as well, who again, a teacher.
Yeah.
I taught for a long time as well. I was able to combine that with my acting. So my muggle job was as a teacher for a long time, which helped me get my mortgage and what have you.
Yeah.
As an actor, I guess I started out never really believing I could make make a living at it. So I always in the back of my mind had the idea that, well, I'll act for my soul rather than anything else. And I've managed to stay in love with doing it. It's never been a chore for me. I choose work that I want to do.
Yeah.
And where I want to go.
That was one of my definitions of a successful actor, was someone that could actually choose the work they did. It was never really about, sort of plaudits and accolades and huge stardom and stuff. It was, I always really liked the actors that chose. I like it, especially in the film world, when you watch a film because that actor's in it, and if that actor's in it, you know the film will probably be good because they chose to be in the film. And there were several actors like that, and I just thought, yeah, I mean, this I'll go along and see this movie because he or she is in it.
I was like that about Robert Duvall.
Yeah,
who died recently. And,
yeah.
What a loss. I mean, a fantastic actor, really good. And his name was never above the title, really. He did win an Oscar, but he was an actor's actor. And a really, his performances are so detailed.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned film quite a lot, and I'm less enamoured of film than I am of the theatre experience. I've grown up being a theatre actor.
Yeah,
My background is really that.
Yeah.
I can appreciate film performances and be quite jealous of them sometimes as an actor, wishing that I could have my work exist forever in that form. But there's something about the immediacy and the magic of a theatre, which I think is the last refuge of those of us who are trying to avoid AI. It's a very human interaction. Anyway, my acting career really has been primarily in the theatre, and it has been ever since I first started acting back in the mid-70s.
Mid-70s?
Yeah, I mean, a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, like all actors, although some are embarrassed to admit it, I started as an amateur. I didn't just get launched into a job and that was me, an actor now. I'd been an actor for a long time before I got my first paid job as an actor. I went to college, I did a speech and drama degree and did an English degree along with it. It wasn't till many years later, after quite a lot of experience in the theatre and getting my teaching qualification as a drama teacher, that I thought, you know what I'm missing? It's the experience of going to drama school.
Yeah.
And I guess I was still at that time, and I was 49 when I went to drama school. I was an old man compared to all the other youngsters that were there. The training I had really, and most of the books that I'd read up to the point of going to drama school were mostly Stanislavski based.
Yeah.
And the training that I got at drama school was, exclusively Stanislavski. And it made me realise, after I'd done that master's, that it wasn't a good fit for me.
It's not for everybody, is it?
No. I found it kind of challenging in lots of different ways. I knew there might be alternatives out there, and I've found them subsequently. But at the time, all the idea of actioning a text, all the background work, knowing what you had for breakfast, and those given circumstances, questions, the who, what, where, why, when, all very useful questions.
Yeah.
But it leads to kind of theoretical performance, so not an inhabited performance, I don't think. It's almost like it's I
totally agree.
an essay in how to present the character.
Yeah.
And you can see actors showing off how clever they are, rather than actually discovering things in the moment and being very kind of alert to the present and being confused or not sure or ambivalent about things.
I think sometimes you get a very internal performance of
That too,
people, and it gets very breathy and
you see the best examples of it, and it's fantastic.
Brilliant,
work.
yeah.
It's brilliant. Some of my favourite performances, certainly on film, are method performances.
I used to say this to my students, so if you're going to talk system or method, that it's great for film because, you can just be the character. You can be the character, and and anything that happens to you externally, you react as that character in the moment. But try doing that on stage every night, or if you're doing Snow White or something for the pavilion for theatre, it doesn't work.
Not really.
And also, sometimes you can be so internal that you're not picking up on the energy of other actors
So many of
or
the
the
schools,
audience.
so many of the schools out there, they're in this country and in America certainly, they are based on the method or the system, as Stanislavski would have called it. And I've been looking all my life for a system or a school which helps me get me around what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and I think that's very individual for each
Yes, it
actor,
is.
because I mean to me systems and things, if they work, they work. I mean, I just with Stanislavski, I just took the simplest form and like what if, if something happens in front of you, how would you act if that happened in front of you?
Yes, that's right.
And then you think of, well, I'm a different character now because I'm playing a character. How would that character react if this happens to you? So I really broke it. For me personally, it had to be dead simple. Really, really simple. If you come in to a room, I work with students an awful lot, and I would set up scenes on purpose just to sort of ask them questions afterwards. Like it's freezing cold, you're bringing logs in from the outside, you have to chop down a tree, and you bring logs in, you're putting them in the fire. That's a simple scene, and they'd start the scene, come in, and stuff like that. And it was quite interesting. It said, right, okay, how long have you had to walk, and how much physical work have you done? How much of a sweat have you built up, and how cold are you when you come into this room? The temperature. I mean, to let them to think about the sensations of their body affected by their environment and stuff like that, and bring it into their performance. Just suddenly change. And it was, to me, that was a sort of a simple exercise, and you could do all sorts of things, like in the scene Romeo and Juliet with Tybalt, and when the big fight scene,
Yes.
and Tybalt takes out his sword, and some crowd of the Capulets and Montagues, the young bucks who the blood is high and all that.
Oh, so it's Mercutio.
Yeah, Mercutio, yeah. And so the rapier comes out, the sword, whatever, and everybody's standing around looking at it, and I said, right, okay, stop. So I would ask them how many had been, sort of been threatened by a sharp weapon before. Obviously none. But I said, right, if someone was pulled out a knife now, or a gun now, what would your reaction be? You'd cack yourself.
Yes,
You'd
that's
shit yourself. Your mind would go into, survival mode, everything there. And
Isn't it interesting, though, that survival mode is in the body, it's in the limbic system. It's not up here, it's not calculated, it's not thought through and theorised about.
No.
Like, I think Stanislavski might err on that side of things, the thinking process. Whereas the other processes that I find more helpful personally are to do with accessing the unconscious. Perhaps first of all, trusting my instincts over what that might be telling me.
Yeah.
Because this has been how I've been told I need to work and make it much more cerebral than really I think is valuable. So we are asking questions of your body. If you feel cold, having brought in those logs for the fire, where do you feel it in the body?
Yeah.
Where is it? Is it in when you start talking about it and you start to feel it in the body, that's where it is.
I think
bring that in.
That's why it was useful when we were doing emotional memory, big Stanislavski thing, emotional memory, and I'm thinking sense memory, and you're sort of thinking. The way I approached it anyway was to think of a memory of a time when, say, you were very, very cold, freezing cold, absolutely cold, and then to say, right now, really concentrate, go through that, and take them in a relaxed state, go through it, feel it. Where in your body is it happening? Where are the tensions? Where that? Because these are the things that you can reproduce in a performance.
Yes.
The emotion, you can have a shot.
Yeah.
It might work. It might be chaotic, so chaotic and out of control that it's not of any use.
That's right. Absolutely.
Whereas again on film, you can maybe edit it, and use that one bit. But try reproducing that. It's not going to happen.
No, you're absolutely right. So it's physical, and it's to do with the metaphysical in a way, the unconscious. So I've been looking towards people like Michael Chekhov for the physical stuff. There's also kind of want of a better word, kind of spiritual aspects to it. But the person I found most useful is another Russian practitioner. They're all Russian, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it was Nikolai Demidov, who was
no.
a fascinating.
No, I
fascinating.
don't know.
There's a book which came out about 10 years ago now called Becoming an Actor Creator. It's a big tome. It's about 5 books all in one, actually.
Wow.
Translated by a teacher friend of mine, Andrei Maleyev Babel.
Right.
And he's translated these books and put them into one volume. What a wonderful read. Nikolai Demidov was a doctor, but he helped Stanislavski in his classes, and eventually he got pushed aside because they had various disagreements about things. But off and on, they were working together for 30 years together.
Wow.
And a lot of the ideas, some of the best ideas of Stanislavski, that I find the best, are in Demidov, and he goes further than that. So he allows actors to trust their instincts first. You know, the exercises that you do are very, very simple on paper, but they are enormously effective in reminding you of where the creative germ is in the idea of acting. And it's brought me to a point now where I think less about character and characterization. And maybe it's because of the age I am now. I'm able now to sort of let that go. What's the funny walk? What's the funny voice? Really? I'm starting from, what would I do here? What am I doing here in this present moment? Speaking to Iain. I've got a microphone in front of my face. I'm trying to explain something to some viewers over there. If I incorporate all of that into where I am and who I am now, I get what's called presence. You know, I am in the present. And that's been enormously helpful to me. If people want to check it out, Becoming an Actor Creator, Nikolai Demidov.
Good. Thank you for repeating. I was going to ask you because I think people will be I'll be very interested.
Get it second hand. It's quite expensive. Don't get the hardback. It's they're going to set you.
Do they do an audio version for us dyslexics?
Funny enough, they don't, and they wish they did a spoken book version of it, but it'll take about 5 weeks to listen to, probably. Well, it's a long book, and it's quite small print. But essentially, it can be reduced to very simple. The best way of actually learning about it is doing a workshop. Yeah. I'd recommend going down to Demidov School in London. Right. Another Andrei Bizurek, who teaches it. Fabulous teacher. I've done classes of his online, but it's nothing being in person. Doing it in person.
Well, it's the only way I can learn books. I'm really frustrating that I could never get a single thing
about this. Although it's a huge, great book, actually this is experiential. You've got to do it to realise what is actually being unlocked.
Wow. And
it really changes you, I think, not only as an artist but as a person. It's a very, very powerful experience for me. I didn't discover this book until about a year after it had come out in the translation, about 9 years ago, and it's made a huge difference to me. I'm far less grumpy, far less kind of locked into my own kind of, I have to get this, all that effort. It's made me realise just how important, and Stanislavski did say this and I ignored it, how important relaxation is. It's actually the core of everything. Anyway, the project I'm doing at the moment is called the Badly Behaved Poet Society. We've done really good performances in Glasgow area and over in Ayrshire as well, and we're taking it to Italy in the autumn.
Can I come?
Can't wait. If the expenses allow, yes, we can pack you in the luggage area. It's going to be a terrific experience for me. I've never worked in Italy before, and it's a lovely part of the country, Barga as well. So it's a two-hander, and it's about two guys meeting in the afterlife, both of whom are badly behaved poets, and we drink and we chat, become friends, then fall out, and then there's a existential decision that needs to be made at the very end about whether I choose to stay in this limbo, this purgatory of the badly behaved Poet Society, drinking and gossiping and laughing and having fun, or whether I choose to go the next step through a door which might or might not take me somewhere better.
Right, because now I feel terrible. I missed it, and I'll probably see what flights are like out to where, Barga.
Barga, that's
Barga.
right. It's the beginning of September. It'll be on.
Beginning of September. I'll
We'll have to do some warm-up shows beforehand, so you'll get first invite.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Oh, cool. Well, brilliant. Well, that's fantastic. Mark, thank you so much. That's been fascinating.
Thank you
indeed.
Good to see you, mate.
Cheers.